からはあいつの唇優しく抱きしめてくれと願う
Hey guys, welcome back to Planet Tyro. I'm your host Donald Wonder and you're back here with me for the Year of Lupin 2016. Last time you were here, we actually spoke about a little offshoot Lupin special unofficial movie package called The Greatest Capers. It involved Hayao Miyazaki, Streamline Pictures. It was a fun little offshoot, gave me a chance to address a couple things. Click the annotation on the YouTube card, top right hand corner. Go to that video for all the details, but let's move on to something else. And by something else, I actually mean I got an error I almost made. I made a little boo-boo. So guys, we're in the year of 1995, and as I'm doing these Lupin retrospectives, I'm doing this in the order of release. Now, due to, well, you guys don't need to see behind the scenes, but I've got a list of all the movies year by year by year. I made a typo on the year, and one of my subscribers caught it out, or one of the Lupin fans caught it and said, hey, you skipped this movie? I said, no, I didn't skip it. I just was gonna bring it up at the wrong time. So thank you for correcting me. I knew I was gonna make a mistake eventually. So now we're gonna move forward, and the movie I almost missed, but luckily we're in the same year, is 1995's movie, Farewell to Nostradamus. Nostradamus, Farewell, also goes by the name of Die Nostradamus and Nostradamus Go to Hell, which is some very interesting alternative titles. Now, the first thing that stood out to me specifically was the animation. The animation for this particular movie is magnifico, and I think the reason for that is, the first reason is obvious, it's a feature movie, so they've got a better studio behind it. It's not a TV special. And to be honest with you, I did see this from the Funimation Lupin pack. So even though this movie was made, what, 20 years ago? It looks gorgeous, the animation detail, and we'll get into the plot. But I think it stands out because it's a brighter Lupin movie. And what I mean by that is not the tone, it's set in a brighter area. It's set in locations that are brightly shot, especially the main cityscape is very bright. It's actually somewhat futuristic, especially the Douglas Tower. But anyway, let me get to the plot and we'll get back to the animation. So the plot for this movie is, there is a cult leader called Nostradamus. He's leading a cult of people that are very fanatical for him, and he's predicting all these calamities, but it doesn't take a genius to find out he's actually creating these said calamities to extend his power. Now, the treasure in this Lupin movie, because there's always a treasure, is actually one of Napoleon's prophecy books. Not sure if this book is actually a legitimate, but anyway, that's beside the point. This book is being held by a business politician man who's actually running for president or mayor in the city. I can't remember president or mayor. And he owns the book in a very, very, very secure tower called Douglas Tower. Lupin and the team want to get this book because it's obviously worth a lot of money, worth a lot of prophecies, and it's just something that Lupin, Jigga, and the whole team want to get. Obviously, Nostradamus wants to get the book back himself. Without getting into spoilers, it's also got to do with the businessman's daughter, Fujiko, mind, amnesia, and Lupin having an uncle in a faraway prison that's meant to help unlock the secret to the treasure, or how to break in, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to get into spoilers, so that's just the general idea of the movie. What did I think of it? Now, the animation, as I said before, is gorgeous. This is one of the movies that really holds up. I don't know if it was restored or reanimated, but the DVD quality version I got, this stands up to movies I've seen today. And again, I have to put it up to the animation studio that did it. But the futuristic cityscape and even the action scenes, actually, this is very specific. The action scenes in this movie is very fluid. And this movie has continuous scenes of comedic action where characters are running off cliffs or they're running down. I mean, the finale for this movie is a continuous scene, and there's so many scenes where Lupin's escaping or they're being chased, or the animation looks it really stands out. It's really well done, very detailed, and it's just very memorable for that alone. Plot, on the other hand, most of the Lupin movies are straightforward, and this is very straightforward. Like I said, the Nostradamus cult on the one hand, then Lupin trying to get the treasure. The problem is number one, the plot is not all that memorable. We've seen this kind of thing before. And number two, the bigger problem with this movie is it changes this. I don't want to say it changes its tone, but the consistency is very weird. Like, it's first about the cult and then Lupin trying to get into the tower. And then all of a sudden, Lupin has to go and get himself arrested and has to get his uncle to do a prison break. So the tone does change, and it's like, am I watching this heist or a prison movie and back to heist? And it's not that Lupin doesn't usually switch things up or goes on different areas, different countries. It just didn't work that well this time. It actually felt very, very off. Didn't flow very well. So that's a bit of a meh. The soundtrack, background sound, the music, it was okay. Not really standout-ish. But one thing I do want to point out is I watched the English dub version and I watched the original Japanese sub. And the reason why I wanted to do that particularly, because I was just going to watch the dubs, is actually, this is the first Lupin movie where Kenichi Kurata actually takes over the role from Yasuo Yamada as Lupin III in the Japanese dub. I've always complained about Yasuo Yamada. I didn't like his performance. It was a bit too aloof. So how do I like Kenichi Kurata's performance? He sounds very similar to Yasuo Yamada, but he just doesn't have that super aloof that bothered me. He sounds a little bit more on the ball. So I heard it actually before, so I knew I preferred him anyway. But I like him. He's a great pick. But I'm gonna point out when I get back to the Japanese language only version ones, because there's only like 5 or 6 more English dubs of the Lupin movies left anyway. So anyway, the dubs are good. The background's good. It's overall not memorable. And overall, the movie stands out more as an animated spectacle. It's actually fun, animation-wise. It's humorous. But honestly, the plot is forgettable. And for me, a forgettable plot never really stands out the test of time. But because it's an animated movie, the animation can carry over. If I had to give it a rating, it's just above average. It's a high okay because the animation and the story is okay. But when it was over, I was just like, it was okay, but kind of forgettable. The outside feedback I saw on IMDb and my anime list was pretty positive. People actually liked this movie. They thought it was a lot of fun. And from an animation standpoint, it's really good. It's very good eye candy. It's definitely something I would put to recommend to someone to check out, because it does tick all the Lupin boxes except for the inconsistency with the story going here and there, which is done poorly against some of the other Lupin movies. But overall, it's kind of enjoyable. So glad I didn't miss this one. Again, thanks to our commenter who actually pointed this out. I knew I was going to make a mistake eventually, but now we can move on to the next movie, which is going to be Dead or Alive, which I've already recorded. I just got to edit at the time it's recording. But guys, what did you think of this movie? Leave a comment in the comments down below. Let me know. Share your thoughts. Thanks for watching the Year of Lupin as usual. I'm always enjoying this. And it's like I said before, the thing about the mid-90s, the Lupin animation quality has really improved. And at this point, it's just much easier to watch, But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel to become a subscriber, to get the content straight to your YouTube feed. And you can also check out the other stuff we do on the right by clicking the annotations to the movies, TV shows, books, discussions. We've got a podcast where we talk about stuff. Recently, we bitched about Batman vs Superman. If you're interested, check that out. But again, guys, in finale, I want to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Peace out.